Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discussing something about the Vardhanas. Just we are in the yesterday's class discussing about the Guptas and the great rulers of Guptas and their contributions. So after the completion of those aspects, today we are going to see something about the Vardhanas. See, the Vardhanas, after the Gupta Empire, which had flourished for 2 centuries, disintegrated around 6th century CE, many small kingdoms sprang up at this time. The kingdom of Vardhanas was one of them, and they were ruled from Taneshwar in 6th century. They were ruled from 6th century CE from Taneshwar. And some copper inscriptions, Bana's Archacharita and the Chinese traveler Yuan Sang's writing throw light upon this period. See, these are all the sources of reference. Sources of references. They are Bana's Archacharita. And some copper inscriptions. And Chinese traveler Yuan Sang. See, all these are writings. Yuan Sang's writings, or the famous reference sources about the Vardhanas. See, totally, the Gupta Empire, which had flourished for 2 centuries, disintegrated around 6th century CE. When the time, many small kingdoms sprang up to this time. The kingdom of the Vardhanas, one of them. They were ruled from Taneshwar in 6th century CE, and some copper inscriptions, Bana's Archacharita, and the Chinese traveler Yuan Sang's writings throw light upon this period. Pushyabhuti is the founder of this dynasty. Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana are the prominent kings of the dynasty. After the death of his father Prabhakara Vardhana and his brother Rajavardhana, and Harsha became the king of Taneshwar. Pushyabhuti is the founder of this dynasty. Pushyabhuti is the founder of the dynasty of Vardhans. And Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana. And Harshavardhana are prominent rulers. These two are the prominent kings. Of Vardhans. So, Pushyabhuti was the founder of this dynasty. Also, Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana are 2 important kings of this dynasty. After the death of his father, Prabhakaravardhana and his brother Rajavardhana and Harsha became the king of Taneshwar. After the death of Vrishabhuti, his sons Prabhakaravardhana and his brother Rajavardhana and later Harshavardhana became the king of Taneshwar. His sister Rajashri. Sister. His sister Rajashri was married to the king of Kanuj. She was married to king of Kanuj. She was get married to king of Kanuj. Harsha, when the king of Bengal, Shashanka, killed the king of Kanuj. So the king of Kanuj was attacked by Shashank, who was the ruler of Bengal. So Bengal dynasty attacked Kanuj dynasty and captured the king of Kanuj and killed him. And when that time, Harsha captured Kanuj and attacked the king of Bengal, and Bengal and Magadha came under his rule. But he could not advance behind the Narmada river in south. The Kannada king of Chalukya, Pulakeshi II, halted his progress near the Narmada river in south and forced him to go back. The achievement of Pulakeshi II has been immortalized in the Panagravik Prashasti written by court poet Ravikirti. Was written by Panagravik Prashasti, which is written by his courtier poet called Ravikirti. He has expressed that the exclusion of King Harsha's joy had dried up on account of this defeat. So this is several achievemental aspects of Harshavardhana. So that he was a famous ruler of the Vardhan dynasty. And dear students, we know something about their parents' achievements. Among them, the king's rules was assisted by Council of Ministers. The bureaucracy consisted of the Mahasandhi Vigraha. It means the negotiator. Bhaladikruta, he was military general, and Bodhapati was a tax minister or tax official, and also another official is named Duta. The kingdom had been divided into provinces. Several provinces. And land tax was the major source of income of the kingdom. Land tax. Major sources of income. And feudatory chiefs paid tribute to the king, feudatory kings, paid tribute, kings paid tribute to Buddha dynasty, and the king gave them land grants and in return. So got the help of their armies. When the king became weak, the feudatory chiefs became independent later on. Land grants were given to other communities and religious people as well. Harsha gave prominence to Buddhism. Harsha gave very prominence to the development and the spread of Buddhism. We get details of the popularity of Buddhism from Yuan Sang's writing. Who was Yuan Sang? Who was Chinese traveler who visited to India, and what he has experienced during he was in India. All those things he was written on his books. So, in his books quoted that how Harshavardhana gave lot of importance to the spread and development of the Buddhism. All those things he had been written in his books. And the Buddhism, Nalanda University was full of activity during this period. Nalanda University. Nalanda University was full of activity during this period, and it enjoyed royal patronage. During the Vardhan's period. And now, dear students, we are going to know something about Nalanda University. We know something about Nalanda University. See, dear students, Buddha followers believe that Nalanda was the name of Buddha in his previous birth. You understand, dear children? Buddha's followers believe that Nalanda was the name of Buddha in his previous life. Nalanda was the name of Buddha. In his previous life. So Nalanda, the name of Nalanda is the name of Buddha of his previous life or a previous birth. Buddha had visited Nalanda. Buddha had visited to Nalanda University. Mention has been made of the 25-meter tall bronze image of Buddha that Harshavardhana gifted to Nalanda. Kumaragupta had made contributions to a fine art school here. Kumaragupta. Harshavardhana had made 25 feet tall bronze Buddha statue. Who was gifted to Nalanda University. And Kumaragupta gave constructed one fine art school. Fine art school in Nalanda University. And Nagarjuna, the chief exponent of middle path, Dinnaga and Dharmapala were the other famous scholars. Dinnaga and Dharmapala. Dinnaga and Dharmapala. Dinnaga and Dharmapala were other scholars. Other famous scholars during the Nalanda University time. And the Chinese traveler Yuan Sang visited this place and stayed for some time here. He has given a detailed description of this place and given a detailed description of this period because he was stayed in this some days where, and there were stupas, chaityas, viharas, rest houses, steps here and there to sit and rest while, meditation rooms, lecture rooms and many other structures reveal the glory of this place. Where we can observe that there is a restrooms, stupas, viharas, chaityas and rest houses and so many steps here and there to sit and rest a while, meditation rooms, lecture rooms and many other structures reveal of the glory of the place. And the Gupta kings and Harshavardhana have been the famous portrans of this place. An accidental fire destroyed many texts of Nalanda. According to some evidences, according to some sources, an accidental fire had been destroyed some text of Nalanda. See, an accidental fire had been happened there, so that many of the texts and books and some other property of university had been destroyed. So in this way, Nalanda University became destroyed. In this way, Nalanda University became destroyed. Are you got, dear friends, all those things? Dear children, are you understand all those things? Yes, you are all understand all those things. Okay, dear students, after the completion of these things, now I am going to give a brief introduction about scientists of the Gupta period. Scientists of Gupta period. See, already you are in yesterday's class discussed more aspects about this. So, even though I am now also several important scientist names I have taken and discussions with you. Okay. Among them, the first and famous scientist was Dhanvantari. See, he was a famous scholar in the field of medicines. medicines. He was famous scholar in the field of medicine. He was a specialist in Ayurveda. He was specialist in Ayurveda. He was specialist in Ayurveda, and he is the father of Indian medicine. He was the father of Indian medicine. Father of Indian medicine. Father of Indian medicine. And his contributions to medical field has been the Ayurvedic dictionary. Had been Ayurvedic dictionary. And another one is Charaka. Another scientist is named Charaka. Charaka. See, dear children, he was a medical scientist. Charaka was a medical scientist. Medical scientist. Charaka was a famous medical scientist during Gupta's period. His major contributions to the field of medicine has been the Charaka Samhita. Charaka Samhita. Charaka Samhita. And Shushruta. Another scientist is named Shushruta. Shushruta. See, he was a surgeon. He was a surgeon. He was a famous surgeon, Shastra Chikitsa. And he was the first Indian to explain the process of surgery. He has recorded that in those days there used to be separate treatment to soldiers like modern time surgery. Shushruta was a well-known surgeon in Eastern years and contributed significantly to the field of surgery. So that he was a famous surgeon. He was expert in surgery during those periods. And Aryabhata. Aryabhata was a famous astronomer. Famous astronomer. Famous astronomer. And mathematician. And also a mathematician. Mathematician. And also a mathematician. See, Aryabhata was a famous astronomer of our country and also our country's greatest mathematician. And he is prominent scientist who come after Varahamihira. His contributions to astrology and mathematics has been highly significant. And this is the reason that Aryabhata award is being presented by the Indian government to great scientists. And the first Indian satellite have been named Aryabhata. The first Indian satellite have been named Aryabhata. He is believed to have invented the zero. He believed to invented as zero. Zero had been invented by Aryabhata. And he treated the fact that solar and lunar eclipse happened due to the Rahu, but due to the rotation of Earth on its own axis and revolution of the Earth in its orbit Around the sun. Around the sun. See, and one more scientist is named Varahamihira. 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 He was the another scientist. He was another scientist during the Gupta's period. During the Gupta's period. And Varahamihira was a famous astronomer. He was also a famous astronomer. And he wrote a book on astronomy named Panchasiddhantika. He was wrote a book called Panchasiddhantika. Panchasiddhantika. This book was mainly based on astrology, and which is considered the Bible of astronomy. Which is considered as Bible of astronomy. Which is considered as Bible of astronomy. And in addition to this, he wrote Bruhat Samhita. He wrote another book, Bruhat Samhita. Bruhat Samhita. See, Bruhat Samhita said on geography and meteorology, etc. See, these are all several scientists during the period of Gupta who made more and more contributions to the India and in the field of science and technology. So they are Dhanvantari, Charaka, Sushruta, Aryabhata and Varahamihira are the famous and well-known scientists during the period of Guptas. They are Dhanvantari, Charaka and Sushruta, Aryabhata, Varahamihira. Dhanvantari was famous in the field of medicine and was developed Indian Ayurveda, so that he was called as father of Indian medicine. And Charaka, who wrote Charaka Samhita, who was also medical scientist. And Sushruta, who was a first surgeon of our nation, was well expert in surgery activities. And Aryabhata was an astronomer and a mathematician who invented zero. And Varahamihira, who wrote Panchasiddhantika and Bruhat Samhita, famous books. See, these are all the several aspects of the lesson, the Guptas and Vardhans. Okay, dear students, I hope that you are all understand all the things of what yesterday and today we had discussed. Okay, after the completion of these things, now I am going to give some questions on the same unit. Okay, see, among them, number 1 is write down questions. List out the greatest scientists of the Gupta period. And another one is write a short note on Nalanda University. And write the achievements of Harshavardhana, a famous ruler of the Vardhan dynasty. Okay. See, these are all the several questions for your homework assignments. So I am stopped here. I hope that you all understand all those things, so that I am stopped here. If you have any doubts, ask questions later. Okay, and remaining things will be discussed on tomorrow's class. Thank you. Thank you.